Hey there! Welcome to 2024, season 4 of beekeeping. Yeah, 4. I know. You didn't see season 3. It happened. I just didn't get it recorded. I was way too busy spending time with my kids and my wife. They're all doing fantastic. We got a new house. Not here though. That's still field. But we built into a house. We're gonna build later. I'm still beekeeping. Let's take you on a journey. This year is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the previous years. Let's catch you up on what happened last year, shall we? All right. So today is Sunday, January 28th. It is cold, 34 degrees, and it's been yucky weather for about a week. I thought I'd get out here and at least make sure the hives are upright. Not going to open them up, but yeah, we're at 4 hives right now. At least that's what we had going into winter. We're looking at the sunflower hive, which is doing all right. It's been here for quite a while. Was originally the 10 frame Italian, I believe. This is one of our newer hives from this last season. Replacing the dandelion hive spot is the new dandelion hive. This is one of our hives that we have gone through and added a Hyve Gate to. So more details about that in a little bit. So yeah, this is our dandelion hive. And we got 2 over here. And this one is the original. This is the original Carniolan. This is the, what we call the daisy hive. And this one has been a trooper. It's been great. Last time I was in it to give feed, it was doing fantastic. And this one here is our new one. We're going to call that the Aster hive, and it also has the Hyve Gate in there. Let's see that blue in there. So yeah, I'm not going to open them up. It's way too cold for that, but I just wanted to get out here and do a real quick check to see that they were upright. Looks like I got a little work to do right there on the cinder block, and they need readjust a little bit. Alrighty. So, well, let's talk about last year. What happened? We started off with the coming into winter of 2022 with 2 hives. We had lost the dandelion hive because of lots of reasons. You can go back and check out those videos for some of that drama there. But we went into winter with 2 hives. They were both really strong. We had the daisy hive and the sunflower hive. Both of them came out fine. So that was 2 years in a row that we had 100% success rate. So, all right, that was exciting. Going into that year, we were able to get a few more bees than before. So we started off by putting up swarm trap boxes. It's the same design I had used in the last year, but just put 2 of them up, 2 different parts of the property. One to the left of the apiary where we had it last year, and another one to the right of the apiary towards the end of that field line. And we caught bees in both of them throughout the beginning of the year, which was awesome. I left them in there a little too long. They did start building comb off the bottom of the 5 frames that were in the top of the double nuke. It was great to see, caught those bees, and they turned out pretty good. So we went from 2 colonies to those 4. I got a call from a friend of mine to go do a bee tree removal. A tree had fallen down on the side of a road, and the owner went to go move it and realized there were bees living in the tree. So he called us. The word of mouth got around, and I was available. So I went, and with the help of a good friend, Eric, we went and cut the bees out of the tree. This was really neat because I went out about a week earlier, looked at the tree, saw the bees in it, and, saw what I needed to bring for this kind of endeavor. Called my friend up, found out he was available. The next week we went out. And he got there a little before me, and as he's pulling up to the property, on the other side of the road, he ends up finding a swarm of bees in the tree, probably from the bee tree itself. As we found out later, they were in swarm mode, so he ended up catching that swarm out of the tree. He helped me use the chainsaw, and we ended up cutting probably about 10 feet of lumber out of this tree just to expose the majority of the hive in there. It was a lot of work, but it was really pretty cool. Not only did we just get bees out of this tree, we saw queens hatching. It was really cool. Here, check this out. Come on out, queen. Hi there. Well, hi. Wow, come on. Come on, it's okay. Nobody's here. It's just you. Oh, get you on camera. There you go. Look at that. There she is. Welcome. Queen clip. Hi there, Queen. Wow. Folks, how often do you see the birth of a queen like that? Got the queens. That was so cool to be able to hold it in your hand and see the queen emerge. And we ended up getting a decent number of bees out of that tree. We couldn't get them all. We even found another queen running around. So total queens for the day was the one queen that was in the swarm. We saw 3 queens emerge out of their cells that we put in queen clips. We saw another queen walking around in there. But yeah, we were able to get enough hives that when I went back to my apiary, I put them into 3 separate boxes, queens in all 3 of the boxes. So I got 3. We left a box out there to try to catch the remaining bees, but they ended up absconding and not sure where they went, but no more bees from that bee tree. But it was really pretty awesome. We got 4 colonies out of that tree that day, and I took 3 of them home with me. So, as in our first year, we were finding swarms in trees on the property, and I, guess what, found 2 more swarms in trees right behind the apiary. And it was fun to call some of my friends out to help me get them down, because not only did they swarm up into the trees, they swarmed way up into the tree. It was so high that I couldn't reach it with the equipment I had, so I had to call a couple of other local bee club members, and we helped get those bees out of the tree. Some of them were stinkers. We cut one down. We got one out of the tree, put it in a box, and they kind of went right back up. So we had to cut down a tree to get to them, and we were able to shake them right into the box. So we ended up getting 2 more swarms from my property. So 4 swarms on the property altogether, which was really awesome. So here's the count. We started with 2 hives. Then we caught 2 nuke boxes. We caught 3 hives out of the bee tree cutout, and then we ended up catching 2 more swarms on the property. We also got a call from a friend that needed bees removed from her tree. It was a small tree along a fence line. I went over that evening, looked at them, and it was a beautiful size swarm. This was probably early May when I got that call. And went over that night, checked them out. It was going to be easy removal. I got permission to cut branches if I needed to, but the tree was going up through, weaving its way through a wire fence. So I couldn't just cut it, put it in a box, and be done. So I brought my bee vacuum in the box and all this, and we're out there vacuuming the bees, and halfway through that one, half the swarm flew off. Lost it, couldn't catch them, but I still had bees in my box, so I was like, okay, I'll take these back and mix them in with bees. Obviously I didn't get the queen, otherwise they wouldn't have swarmed away like that. I get back to my property and come to find out the bees got themselves stuck in the hose. I don't know how or why that happened. They got just jammed in the hose, and then all the other bees clustered around them, and just in the 20 minutes it took me from leaving the property to the time I got to my property, they had died. I did end up giving 4 of the colonies to John Lytle over at BeeLyvely Apiaries, which is another reason my time was split more this year. I got hired on to help with BeeLyvely Apiaries grow their apiary. Don't want to get too much into their backstory, but they had a bit of a rough winter. So we took their colony apiaries from 4 hives, and going into winter, we had 20 hives. Catching some swarms for him, bought a couple of nukes, moving bees from various locations to one apiary. So from 4 to 20. And so far, we were out there today moving a couple of hives from the back end up to the main part of the property. And from what I can tell, we have at least 19 that are alive right now. There's one hive that really doesn't look too good, but that's to be expected, really. He's becoming a sideliner, and I'm helping him with that journey, which is teaching me a lot about beekeeping and the different ways that hobbyist beekeepers keep bees compared to sideliner beekeepers. It's a little bit of a different mentality, approach to beekeeping. However, I can take some of my hobby beekeeping tips and tricks and apply it to that. And I think doing the sidelining is going to help me be more efficient in my own bee yard as well. So I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Some of the things that I did a little bit different this past year that I didn't quite get on tape was the Hyve Gate, that little blue entrance you saw on 2 of the hives. That came from a beekeeper that's out in, I believe, New Zealand. And the idea is to reduce the entrance down to about 2 inches wide and only 3/8 of an inch tall, which is bee space for height. And you reduce that entrance into a tube so that way it goes from the front of the hive all the way to the middle part of the hive. And where it enters the middle part of the hive is a little bit of a cup. And so the bees fly in the entrance and they come up and out the cup right underneath the cluster. And it also is really awesome in helping protect the hive from robbing. I last year had seen a lot of yellow jackets out around the property, and they were getting in the front entrance pretty easy. Even though I've got that metal mouse guard on my hives, the yellow jackets were still able to go in and out, and it could cause some more robbing and extra stress on the bees. So doing this entrance reducer really helped me be able to help my bees defend themselves. Another thing that I ended up making this year were foam follower boards. In different styles of hives, you'll end up having a piece of wood on one side to reduce the size of hive space for the bees. And that piece of wood in there is called a follower board because it can follow the size of the hive. Sometimes you'll see these in long Langstroth hives. I built this to add a little extra insulation into the inside part of the hive, but also to reduce the unused bee space. The aster hive, which is one of the ones that came from the bee tree cutout, just never really built up. We put them in a medium box, and after they started to show signs of building up in that box, I put a deep underneath them, thought that they would build down, queen would lay eggs down there, and everything would be hunky-dory. And they really didn't do that very much. It was very surprising, especially catching them as early in the season as I did. They just never grew like my other colonies have in the past. So because they only had about 5 good frames of resources and brood at the time going into the fall and into fall winter season, I knew there weren't going to be any more resources coming in from nature. I wanted to condense the hive down a little bit. The cool thing was they filled out the super that was on top, the medium, and I didn't want to only put them in a medium. I wanted to keep them in the same configuration as all the other hives, which was a deep on bottom and a medium on top. So I took 2 frames out and I put a foam follower board in, so that 8-frame deep box became a 6-frame box underneath, and I still kept the super on top. So that foam follower board is in the aster hive right now, and we're going to see if that helps or not. I hope it does, because we did it on several of the hives up at the BeeLyvely apiary as well. Fall was a little rough for the bees in my area. The pollen and nectar flow just kind of dwindled off, and what looked like it was going to be a great summer ended up not producing as much for my bees. And I didn't feed my bees as much as I had in the past also. So I think the combination of a little bit of a dearth earlier in fall as well as a lack of feeding on my part didn't help my bees out. So that's something I'm going to be changing this year, is making sure I'm feeding my bees more and earlier on in the season to help them get that boost into building comb, help stimulate brood production, and building out bigger, better colonies. Something else I'm hoping to do this year will be putting a QMP Noodle on a tree that I have in my backyard at this new house. For those that don't know, a QMP Noodle stands for a Queen Mandibular Pheromone, little piece of plastic that has the pheromones on it, and you zip tie that to a branch or a tree that's low enough that will make catching a swarm much easier. And I've got a nice maple tree that's out here in the backyard. I plan on putting that noodle on a low branch, and then every morning I can come out and check the trees throughout the day to see if I've got swarms, and if they do, I can easily go get my equipment from the garage, pop them into a box, and guess what? I've got a new colony. So I think that's going to be another fun experience for me this year, is seeing if I can attract swarms to a desired location using that QMP Noodle. It should be fun.
And that's where the camera stopped recording. So I will put up some video of our bee tree cutout while I take a moment to say thank you for your support. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch our videos and take the time to make a comment. It really does mean a lot when you interact with our channel. Season 4 looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Some new experiences along the way. I might even take you up to BeeLyvely apiaries and show you what's going on up there. But again, just thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.